Okay, just because I divorced you don't mean I divorced my kids. I can still be their father.
I understand
That's
that.
what I'm saying. So I'm still available to do
Yeah.
to do my job. Just because I don't live in the house, I'm available to do my job.
Whatever. All them dudes are billionaires. They probably eat coffee, go to the same places, and talk to each other off season.
Yeah.
Once you tell a team that you ain't finna do all this and that, you just insulted my friend. I'm not finna.
I think that attitude is the reason why he got drafted. I mean, drafted
100%.
So
late.
all of that is
together.
based off.
Yeah,
but
the
do
stuff
you
his
think
dad
he
saying, the
deserved?
way he did his thing, didn't perform in the combine and all the stuff that he did.
Do you think he deserved to get punished for his daddy though?
Let me catch my breath, okay, let's hit 'em. While I show these brothers how the letter like talking in rhythm. Talking in rhythm.
Good evening, everybody. You tune into another episode of Talking in Rhythm. I'm here with my cast.
What up? It's Vanity.
What's good is Body the Beast. Every beauty need a beast. Excuse my allergies in my hair.
We not gonna excuse your hair.
All right, we got some good topics today. We're going to go with the Shedeur Sanders dropped in the NFL draft to number 144 in the 5th round. And he also got pranked. Had a prank phone call as far as him being drafted. You want to start, Body?
Yeah, pranking. Let's just start with the prank. It's only a big deal because he was highly publicized for not going first. And then it's like, I ain't gonna lie, when I first saw he got pranked, I'm like, dang, that's bad. But then they showed more people got pranked. It just wasn't as publicized because it was him. And everybody like, when he getting drafted. But, I mean, the prank is just unfortunate. It was the kid apologizing. I don't even think he really sorry because it was just a fun joke.
This shit was funny.
Yeah, it was really funny. You know,
I agree. That shit was
It's
hilarious.
funny,
Yeah,
like
that shit was hilarious.
that's like the biggest prank. You expected a call from the draft and then from the team, and then like it's not them, but you already pissed off because you already. It's 2 days that went by and ain't nobody called you. Like you mad as hell already.
and it's even worse because they did it for Isaiah Bond, who didn't get drafted, and he going through legal issues. He should be more hurt by the prank call because he actually didn't get drafted.
Yeah.
But it was funny. I think that's innocent. I feel like making that kid apologize, making it a big deal.
They trying to come for his daddy job.
Yeah, they trying. I mean, because they trying to say his daddy leaked the number, but they got these other players' numbers. How they getting them numbers?
And he not like a mischievous little 5-year-old that did this. Like he pretty grown. Like
They said he found it on an open laptop. That his dad had an open laptop and he seen it.
I mean, I'm pretty sure.
That's what they said. I
that,
don't know if it's true, but
I mean, if he know who his dad is and he know his dad had the assets, I'd be looking for it too.
his dad was a
yeah,
defensive
like,
coordinator.
he could have just went.
Right, in the NFL.
For
So I
Atlanta,
mean,
yeah,
if they
for
drafted him, they
Falcons.
probably got some player. I don't know
He
why
coulda
his
just
defensive
went through
coordinator
his-
got a
through his
quarterback's
stuff.
number, but I mean, yeah. But then, so after the prank, it's like him going to 5th. Now that we know more and knowing that second day of the draft was more watched than most drafts, and still generating more views down there. They said in the playoffs, NBA playoffs, because his likeness and his publicity kept everybody in tune. I know I watched it trying to see when is this nigga going. He steady watching it trying to see when he going. So yeah, he had the world tuned in. So it just showed the impact that he have, and that you got to know that it was a bigger agenda of not drafting him. Even if you say the talent, he can't be the 144th best player to pick out of our players. And if you say he is, well then the other things that you draft players for, like how they say for Brunny, since you're talking about a Hall of Famer's son, the likeness, the jersey sales, the money you bring in, all that it matters. It's a business. So why did they put him back? It's a bigger agenda. I'm not going
Do
to
you
say
feel
what
like
it
they
is.
was trying to teach him a lesson?
For sure, and they taught it. I know for sure he's humble. I actually like it for him.
So what lesson do you feel like needed to be taught? Like what transpired that they felt like we gotta show him, like we gotta little boy him?
So imagine this, right? You coming in to the league, telling these people how you gonna get drafted, how it's gonna go. They had to let you know first off, we always in charge. I don't care what your daddy think is going on. We always in charge. They showed him that. And then they also showed him like who running it. They still made money off of him without even giving him the money he's supposed to be guaranteed. He lost what, $41 million from being picked 5th. Yeah. So they saved money and made money. And then now you come in from supposed to be the star, the man, and all that. Now you got to work. Yeah, now you have to work. They
got 6 quarterbacks on their roster.
Yeah,
they even drafted a quarterback before
him. And a good quarterback. I ain't gonna say he's better than him, but
the Browns got 6 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Well, one is inactive. One is inactive because that's a quarterback killer over there. That's why DM really didn't want him to go over there.
Yeah, I heard that.
All their quarterbacks getting legal troubles, get hurt, get cut.
They got Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett.
Joe Flacco came off the couch in the middle of the season.
They said quarterbacks go over there to die.
They quarterback killers. But
They still got Watson on a damn.
But he said at the thing, if you want to change your organization, pick me up. But let's go see what he gonna do. I think he's still gonna end up being a starter. This is another thing. So watch this. He made it to the 5th round of the draft, and everybody's still watching. 144 pick. So, So then it's like now you at the Browns. Nobody checking for the Browns, but now you finna be checking for him because you want to see. You're gonna be watching him from preseason because now you want to see if he get the starting position. Who's better than him? So they high profile. So the league gonna get their money. Watch how many primetime games the Browns gonna have this year.
Oh, most definitely.
With the 5th pick.
They just want to see him.
That's if he start, bro. I don't know.
I feel like he
finna
gonna get in there and show the fuck out. I ain't gonna lie. I do feel like he.
I feel like the reason why he didn't go in the first round because he wasn't really a mobile quarterback. He ain't really have size.
Joe Flacco ain't either.
Joe Flacco got a crazy arm though. Like
I think Shedeur do too.
not like Flacco.
He accurate. He pretty accurate.
But he's still young.
Flacco
Let's
won
like.
the
I
Super
think we
Bowl.
should
He
just
got
see.
the Super Bowl.
That's what the
MVP.
pros is about. They want youth. They
I
don't
mean,
want 40-year-old
wait,
Flacco.
and that's what I'm saying.
He
Like,
ain't
I
Tom
feel
Brady.
like let's get it. Let's see what he get in there and do.
But you got to
Like,
look at when
I'm
Flacco
anxious.
got drafted too.
And
That was
he
a
came
long
in off
time
the couch
ago.
and stick him to the playoffs. I'm not knocking Flacco.
No, but I'm saying right now, teams are looking for mobile quarterbacks, man.
Right. So and Flacco not that either.
Yeah, but Flacco didn't get drafted this year either. Flacco got drafted about 14 years ago.
I mean, yeah. Well, what I'm
Yeah.
saying is he's the starting quarterback right now. If they had to go into the season right now and lace him up. So what I'm saying is him not being mobile don't take away from he not being able to start because it ain't like the starter is mobile.
But
That's
you
what
got
I'm
to
saying.
look at the teams that needed quarterbacks that went past him.
The Browns need a quarterback.
The Browns, they got a lot of quarterbacks.
Browns need a whole
They got a lot of
team.
nobodies.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like Pittsburgh needed one, the Giants needed one,
Right.
the Raiders needed one. They still moved. They went past him.
And that's what the Browns did. They got leverage.
Saints
They
coulda
could
took
trade.
him.
They could trade. Them teams still need quarterbacks. We got Dylan Gabriel. So we're going to figure out who our starter is, and then guess what? Y'all can have the other one. Just give us this.
Well, they got
Or
to cut
give
it
us
down.
that.
I think they can leave 4, one on the practice squad, first, second, third.
Well, you got to think. So even when you do
They gotta get
process
rid of at least
elimination,
2 of them.
The 6 quarterbacks. For one of them is Deshaun Watson. He's already ruled out the whole year. The next one is Joe Flacco. He's gonna be there to mold those dudes into pros. He got the he got the wisdom. He's the vet. He's gonna be there for that. And if by chance these young niggas ain't getting it right, cool. Flacco go out there and start us off. Then next, even if he don't start this year, he start next year. The whole point, I know what I'm gonna be watching, and I think the world gonna be watching to see who gonna win out of him and Dylan Gabriel for the starting position, and then or the first
I
backup.
don't think them dudes is gonna get it. I will put Kenny Pickett in front of them.
Oh yeah, nah, Kenny Pickett had his chance.
Kenny Pickett gonna get a chance with them.
I think they all is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying why he didn't get drafted in the first round.
Oh yeah.
He don't have no speed. His arm strength is mediocre.
I don't know, but as far as the draft, he still should have been drafted first round. You think
I don't-
Dylan Gabriel better than him?
I don't think he should have been drafted first round. I thought second, third he was cool, but fifth I ain't see fifth coming.
Second cool, first was still cool, depending on if them teams that needed quarterbacks drafted a quarterback. I don't think he was the 6th, 7th, 5th, or 4th best quarterback in that draft. It wasn't even a quarterback draft.
Honestly, I don't think he's ready to start in the NFL.
And that might be true. He still
That's
was
why
able to be
Pittsburgh
drafted.
went past him. And
Most
Pittsburgh,
draft, that don't mean you're gonna. Only the one who gonna normally get started is the number 1 overall pick.
no, most of the time quarterbacks that get drafted in the first round start. That's normal right there. The first round.
Most of the time, the best quarterbacks be in the 5th and 4th,
I mean, Kenny Pickett got drafted at what, 19 or 20, and he started.
and he got put right out. That's what I'm saying.
Well, he didn't start anyway.
I'm
he had
just
work
anxious
his
to
way
see
up.
what he
He
do.
started,
regardless.
end up starting the first year, but
It wasn't like he just came in. You our man, this and that.
I mean, I just feel like some of the physical attributes that he was missing is the reason why he didn't go in the first round. That's just my opinion. But I thought second and third.
So one thing about them mock drafts, those are people who are getting paid specifically to be good at that to analyze that. They not getting that just off of analyzing him off of what we seeing too. They analyze him off a lot more that they know. They in them meetings. They're random people. They've been doing this for years. That mock draft was so far off that you could tell that it was something going on. But this is what Dion and his dad got to know. And somebody else said this, and I had told my homeboy this before they said it. Bro, all this is a $1 billion whatever. All them dudes are billionaires. They probably eat coffee, go to the same places, and talk to each other off season.
Yeah.
Once you tell a team that you ain't finna do all this and that, you just insulted my friend. I'm not finna.
I think that attitude is the reason why he got drafted. Drafted
100%.
So
late.
all of that
came
is based off.
Yeah,
but
the
do
stuff
you
his
think he
dad say, the
deserved?
way he did his thing, didn't perform in the combine and all the stuff that he did.
Do you think he deserved to get punished for his daddy though?
I mean, yeah.
He was doing his own.
He
part
allowed it
though.
too. He a grown man.
Yeah, he did his own thing too.
I mean, well, that's
guarantee
what
you.
I'm saying.
I
He a
guarantee
grown
you.
man. Why? But y'all saying that he added to it too. So
Right.
I guess in a sense, like yeah,
'Cause
if
he
he
said
added
it,
to
he
it,
ain't
but
said,
if
"Hey,
he
Dad,
didn't,
don't do
okay,
that."
If he didn't do all of that, then do you feel like they still should have punished him if that was the case?
Well, no, but if his dad is clearly going on record saying I'm highly involved in the team that picks for him and he's not going to play, and you're not going on record saying, no, I'm highly involved in who I play for, well, then, yeah, we got to listen to what's going on. And then nextly, it's like we saw the Menace did it. Everybody like, oh, Eli and them did it. Well, if they did and they got away with it, you think they finna keep letting people know that you can just do this? With our money, we finna give you $45 million, $41 million guaranteed. You going to tell us if you're going to take it or not?
Okay, so do you feel like it's a difference in it because you said we saw the Mannings do it, but then it's like now it's a real issue because you see Deion them doing it. So do you feel like their race card play a part in it?
Or you got to stop the Me Too
I don't
era.
think it's a race because the first quarterback I drafted was when the first person.
But no. I'm talking about what he's talking
Like
about
with the Manning
specifically.
family and that.
The Manning,
we
the
gonna
Manning
make it
family
race?
versus Deion them doing it.
We're going to make it race because it's the easiest thing to do. But like you say, they dad was good. They're a good family. They're a strong family. The Sanders is a strong family. So it just happened to be they're black, they're white.
But was the talent level the same? I don't think the talent level is the same.
Eli?
I mean, Eli won 2 Super Bowls and 2 Super Bowl MVPs.
We didn't say what his career was. The talent level. What is Eli? He not mobile.
Eli-
His
but-
arm wasn't like that.
But you're talking about Eli got drafted 20 years ago. That was
you
different.
asked about the talent level.
I know, but we talking about. I'm just saying, like
when
compared. Yeah, but you're saying was he mobile back then? They wasn't looking for mobile quarterbacks.
Okay,
when
so
he
we
got
talking about the
drafted.
talent. I'm still comparing the talent.
I know, but you can't use that part because
Michael Vick was there.
Yeah, but Mike Vick was 101.
So we're talking about the talent. If we compare him to Michael Vick right now, you'll take away Michael Vick being mobile because it was in the 20 years ago.
And that's not what I'm saying.
So that's what I'm saying.
What
So
I'm saying, when Eli got drafted, they weren't.
Okay, well,
every
Eli-
team wasn't looking for a mobile
Okay, well,
quarterback.
Eli don't throw half as good as him. He don't have no stat that show he ever threw that 73%.
That was in college, though.
You said talent level. I can base it off his college. He haven't played pro yet. You asked me a
no,
talent level
man.
question, and his talent only took him through college. So what else am I supposed to base it off of, sir?
I mean, I don't think he did
Sir?
anything in college, to be honest with you. What did he do?
Okay, and I don't think Eli did either. So if we basing it off talent, both of them didn't win in college.
So
And they came to the league and did they
so
thing.
was
And
New
he
York's
got
draft
that
smart or dumb?
It ended up being smart.
Okay, there you go.
You didn't say better careers because he haven't had a career. You said talent. I only can
his career
speak
ain't
off
started.
how
I'm
far
gonna
he
be
went.
honest with you. I don't think Shedeur gonna make it in my division.
Yeah, not with the Browns. I don't think.
No,
he
with
will either.
in our division, period. Every quarterback in our division been hurt in the last 3 years, and they all mobile.
So he might be good not being mobile. They mobile don't mean they not getting hit. I mean they probably getting hit more because they mobile.
They get hit a lot.
they
Period.
running.
No, because it's defense in my division.
Yeah, he just got to
The
get the ball
AFC
out of his
North,
hands.
they're gonna hit your
The
quarterback.
quarterback is the most protected now than they ever been. So now he might not get hurt if he get the ball out of his hands. Don't be mobile, Shedeur. Throw the motherfucking ball. They can't hit you once you throw it.
I think Shedeur needs to sit a season behind the vet.
And he might. And
That's
he
what I
might.
think he needs
And he
to do.
might. But I think his upside, when you drafting a player, you're not even expecting a draft player. You're not. If you get a LeBron, you're like amazing. But you're expecting a player to come and eventually change. You're molding. That's why you want him so young, so you can have time to make
To
him
mold
better.
him into
so
what they need to be,
He do
yeah.
show that if he is put right with his Tom Brady's mentorship, if he's put in the right situation, he do have the things
What it
you
takes to
need
be
to
right.
succeed. Is he gonna succeed? We all don't know. But do he have what it takes to succeed? As far as his arm and
Yeah.
what he can do and his reading and what he did with a team that didn't have the talent that some of the teams have, he showed he could. He took a 1-and-some team, made them 9-4 as the leader. They didn't win nothing. Yeah, but he did show he could change the program. He did show that. If we going by what he did show us.
But the
he did.
division, the conference changed.
The conference did change.
All the,
100%.
they end up being in the Power 5 conference. It was the weakest conference because everybody left the conference and went to the
100%.
Big Ten and the SEC.
But it was still 3-4 ranked top 25 teams in that conference.
they was butt though.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything.
The
you
conference
said.
was
the
butt,
conference.
bro.
The Big 12 is not the
I think
same.
that had a lot to do with it also.
The
too.
Big 12 is not the same.
Because they talk about the guy from Ole Miss. That guy played in the SEC. It's different.
Yeah, the SEC is now.
That's
the
what
new
I'm
Big
saying.
12.
Like, so would you have took him over Shedeur?
Like I said, if you taking everything in factors as a GM,
Because he runs too. He
as
takes
a
off.
GM, honestly, not even off the Shedeur hype. As a GM, I didn't like a lot of the quarterbacks in the draft, but as a GM, if you're talking about what I stand to gain from drafting him, I probably would because I mean, number 3 in jersey sales, and the 2 people in front of him had 2-day head start because nobody even knew what jersey to put on for him. So his jersey didn't get made till 2 days later. So he's number 3 in jersey sales. And he bringing all the attention to your franchise. So the money, the ticket sales, because at the end of the day, it's about money. We can say winning, it's the money first and then the winning. You know what I'm saying?
People ain't
But
watched the
we
Browns
saw
game
this
in I don't know
before.
how
We
long, and
saw
they about
what's his
to.
name do the same thing, and he washed out the NFL.
Who is that?
The boy,
Johnny Manziel, right?
No, that Manziel, the guy from Florida. What's his name?
Cam Newton?
Nah, the guy from Florida.
Tim Tebow.
Yeah, Tim Tebow. Yeah,
Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow. He sold jerseys like crazy and everything.
He
but,
still got drafted when he was supposed to get drafted.
Yeah,
too.
but he won a lot in college in
did.
a much better conference.
He did.
He's arguably they consider one of the best college players of all time.
Him and
Shedeur didn't have that accolade.
And Tim Tebow still didn't do nothing in the league. So what
He
I'm saying
didn't,
is,
yeah.
Mel Kiper is saying the same thing that I'm saying. Who are we to say that these dudes are the best at grading quarterbacks? So if you're going to go by what you've seen him do and what he can bring to your organization, that's why I would. What did the dude from Ole Miss do? What he accomplished?
He got a nice little run. I think they made the playoffs.
They made the playoffs.
Yeah, so they made the playoffs. He was nice. He folded in the playoffs though, but he take off. He got something. I mean, I'm not saying I would draft him either, but what I'm saying is like,
I mean,
you got to look at it like
Tyler
this.
Show, right?
You got to look at the people that needed quarterbacks, and I don't think neither one of them GMs was in shape to have a bad draft.
Your team, the Steelers, right?
Yeah,
Y'all needed a quarterback.
not him though.
No, I'm saying y'all needed a quarterback.
Yeah.
Who you want them to draft?
I wouldn't have took none of them. If I couldn't get Cam Ward, I would have did what the Steelers did. Because all the Steelers, I'm gonna tell you why. All they're gonna do is go on somebody's bench and take somebody's quarterback. They're gonna pay for somebody's quarterback, whether it's Kirk Cousins, whether it's Joe Flacco. They're gonna do that. They're not gonna go with none of them young quarterbacks, except for Cam Ward. But they ain't no way they're gonna get there.
So Cam Ward was clearly the best thing.
Cam Ward was clearly the best,
yeah.
without a doubt. There's no comparison.
The only thing that's I can't say too much because the games I saw him, he just didn't. It was tough.
Well,
I watched 2 games. The first game was that one where every time they scored, the lights went off, and they like barely pulled it off against a team that wasn't even ranked. And then the other game they lost, and he had got sacked at the end.
Yeah, but they didn't have a great team. It was his play. Without him, they wasn't shit anyway.
They wasn't nothing anyway.
No,
Okay.
he could do everything. Like the boy could do everything.
You're right, because how many people got drafted from their team?
I don't think nobody ought to got drafted from them.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. When I heard them teams call, I ain't heard too many Miami players.
Yeah, but he was that guy.
But I don't think they was that bad to where I just wouldn't even draft a quarterback. None of the quarterbacks. I don't think the top
I think they
five
were
quarterbacks
looking
that
at
bad.
what they can work with, and especially like New York doing what they did in the first round was smart. Then they doubled back and got a quarterback. So that was smart what they did.
I think it was smart what the Browns did.
I think the only
If
way
you get a
Pittsburgh
dude who's
pick up a
projected top
Shedeur-
5 and get him in the 5th round, I gotta try it. I gotta try it.
I think the only way Pittsburgh would pick up Shedeur if they already had a quarterback that was going to start. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think Pittsburgh ain't that Aaron Rodgers thing. They don't know what he going to do. So Pittsburgh is going to go to. You'll see, they're going to go to some
And get
team.
like a vet.
They're going to get somebody. Yeah, they're not. They didn't go pay that.
I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some vets ready for him.
They didn't pay what's his name no $150 million to just not. You know what I'm saying? To get, especially to throw a rookie. You know, I just don't think
$41
Shedeur was
million.
cut for Pittsburgh. He wasn't ready for that.
I mean, maybe he went where he's supposed to go. If everybody thinking like if your GM's thinking how you see it and you're a fan, so you know what your team need and how they should think. But I ain't gonna say, like I said, I still feel that mock draft. I just don't see how you go from a mock draft top 5 pick, maybe
mock
even
draft,
21
man.
at the latest.
If them guys was that good, they'll be GMs. You'll make a lot more money being a GM than you will being in a mock draft guy.
I just feel like just when you watch the mock draft, they don't be far off. They not right. They not the dude that go up there and take the pick, but they not far off. They getting a lot of intel, and that intel up until a certain point was definitely saying Shedeur might be top 5 quarterbacks
I
draft.
don't think Shedeur was going to go in that top 5 at all.
At all, never.
He
From
never
no
got
point.
close to a Heisman. Usually players that go in the top 5 is close to a Heisman.
Yeah, but this was a not quarterback.
Yeah, but the other players that went was worthy of being in the top 5.
Yeah, what Cam finished 3rd?
No, second.
Oh, I thought Genty was 2nd.
No,
It
Cam
was
was.
Travis Hunter and Genty.
It was only 2 quarterbacks in the.
No,
Heisman.
I was talking about you talking about for the quarterback award.
I'm talking about the Heisman.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you talking about out of quarterback. I'm talking about out of the whole Heisman race. It was Hunter and then the running back, Jonty from Boise State.
I think he was 3rd. I
He
think
was
Cam
second,
Ward
'cause
was
they
second.
was
Well,
the battle.
either regardless, I mean, he still was there. Your man's wasn't there.
No, yeah, 100%.
Shedeur was not supposed to go in the top 5, bro.
don't
New
know.
York wasn't going to draft him. Their GM be out the door. They
I think
probably-
top 5 could be a reach, but 5th round, I just still.
No, I agree with the.
Oh.
I don't like the 5th round was crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't see him making it past the 3rd.
Right.
Yeah, but I didn't think he was first round.
1st round material.
No,
Okay.
he ain't got a cannon. He can't run. No, he's not going in the 1st round. They drafted the kid out of Alabama over him because he's big.
You
He's
talking about Jalen Milroe?
yeah, he's 6'5",
And he
250, and he take off, and he got a cannon for an arm. It might not be accurate.
And he had a good team, and he didn't take them nowhere either.
Yeah, but it's that physical attribute. Somebody can mold him into something. That's all I'm saying. He's like a giant Lamar Jackson. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I think his mouth and all the stuff that him and his dad did.
I mean, it give a
and
bad
said,
look.
it
It's
messed
too
him up.
cocky. And then one thing I can agree for how cocky they was, he wasn't that. I will give you that. He wasn't Cam Newton. You know what I'm saying?
What about this? What about would they be a distraction? Like a lot of teams don't like distractions.
Yeah.
That's why I said he'll never fit in Pittsburgh. They don't like the distractions.
From the public?
Yeah, they don't want all the
I think the Browns,
I don't
they was
think
perfect
him
team. They
and
had the
Deion did
fifth pick,
anything
and they
wrong.
need a distraction like that. They need a distraction like
No, they
from
need
the Deshaun Watson's distraction.
No, they need
get.
to win. They don't need a distraction. They need to win. They ain't never been to a Super Bowl, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to win.
I don't even know if they've
Yeah.
been to a conference championship.
Hey, they need to win.
Division
I don't think
championship.
Deion and Shedeur did nothing wrong. Tell them folks what you gonna tell them.
Well, he got his son drafted 5th, so in the 5th round, 144.
That's the best thing for him, though, y'all. He got to go out there and actually play now. He got to go win his position. I think if he came in with that cockiness and it was given to him, he's going to ride that high horse and probably
But I
come here
think
and
he's
tank
gonna. I got high hopes for him. I look forward to seeing what he do. Not necessarily
What's a
this
chip on his shoulder
season,
now?
I think
but I
everybody
want to
him to do
see what
well.
he do. Like I want to.
And then
I'm just
another
ready to
thing, a
see
knock
it.
against him,
'Cause
his
I want him
dad
to
was the
prove some
only
people
person
wrong.
ever coaching.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that
want
could
to
be a
see some people
problem.
prove him wrong.
That's
Like
a lot
just
of
prove
coaches
people
and
wrong.
stuff might
when
not
your
wanna
coach
do-
stepping in as the father,
Yeah,
too.
a lot of people might not want to deal with that.
I'm gonna listen to my dad over my coach.
I think that's what he
No,
did.
because your dad ain't paying you. The team is paying you.
And that's what they trying
But
to show
who
him.
really? But I'm just saying, like in real life, like
That is real life. They pay you millions of dollars.
yeah, I get that. I'm gonna listen to my coach, but at the same time, I'm gonna listen to my daddy for real. Like I can sit here and get advice from you all day long from both of y'all, but I'm gonna listen to who I want to listen to. They don't mean just because they're my coach don't mean I necessarily have to listen to everything that they telling
I
me.
think that's where Deion messed up. All them other players, Travis Hunter, you hear his daddy talk?
Nah.
No.
They stayed in the father place. All the talking he did, he talked to his son. Deion could have did all that with his son.
Yeah, he could have.
And yeah, he's a coach, so his camera's gonna be in his face. He should have talked as a coach when the camera's in his face.
But
he talked as a father.
I do believe that because I mean, like I was saying earlier, like like say when somebody new come on my job, like I go against the grain. I always be like this. So I'm not gonna tell you listen to your supervisor, listen to these people, cause I don't listen to them. So if you came onto my job, you get through your orientation, do whatever you gotta do, and I'm telling you, don't listen to them folks. They ain't talking about shit.
You're not gonna do that on a camera though.
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like I don't feel like it's anything wrong with what they did. It's just wrong in how they did it. Maybe you giving that advice, you can give them that same advice and tell them, you know what, do it like this. I've done it like this, do it like this, listen to me, I know better. Like, just because them people are over them, that doesn't mean that they know everything. Like, because I feel like that at my job. Like,
Yeah, but
my supervisor and them don't know everything.
you're not
I don't
gonna
listen
tell
to
them
them.
that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm different. I actually do.
Oh.
But other than
You
that,
still got your job?
Yeah, you can do that.
yes, I do. I've been
you
on my
can-
job 12 years.
You can do that in the GM, but you ain't gonna do that in the NFL. It's called not.
But
for
I'm
long.
saying though.
You know what I'm saying?
But what
You're
I'm
not doing that in the
saying is,
NFL.
but what
Yeah,
I'm
they
saying
give everybody
is,
the boot for that shit.
you like just because I listen to you. If you're my boss, I can listen to you. If I was a barber in here and you come over, you like you my boss, and you telling me, you should cut like this and you should do it like this. I'm gonna say, oh, okay. You walk off. I'm gonna cut how I want to cut because
Well,
I
tell
don't
people
have
that
to
anyway.
listen
So-
to you.
But yeah, what he did is he didn't say okay and then let him walk off. He put it in their face. What he did was show his power and tried to show his power and his arrogance on camera. And what they did is they did it right on camera.
Yeah, and
too.
that's what I'm saying. I
humbled
don't
him.
feel
Yeah,
like
they
he
did it on
should
camera.
have.
They did it.
Yeah, they
He
humbled
You want
didn't
to
have
publicize
do
it? We gonna
on camera
publicize it.
in front of folks. Like you can still voice your opinion, but I would have done it in a more private way, like a more one-on-one type thing,
Yeah.
versus doing it where I'm pulling everybody in. Like you can tell motherfuckers to follow this route, cause I'm always like I'm gonna always go against the grain. I'm not gonna go just because y'all tell me. I don't care if you are my boss. Just because you tell me to walk this straight line, I'm not gonna walk this fucking straight line. I'm gonna figure it out on my own.
So this is how you know too. This is how you know that they wanted to do it this way, and it went perfect for the NFL. First off, from the ratings, they're still making money. But like I said, he went on camera and publicly tried to tell them how he was gonna dictate what they was doing, and they showed them who was in charge, and they did it the same way he did it in public. Them people, like I said, when you hear them people talk about the mock draft, they be saying intel. I talked to this guy. I had lunch with this guy. They let them think. You see how Deion and them was shot. They sitting in interviews with these coaches. They was just as shocked as us. So that means these people still let him lead on to believe that he was going to be a first-round pick to only make him wait to the 5th round.
But you know they do that on a regular though.
What's that?
Like they do that kind of stuff. That's not unique to him. Like Pittsburgh told Malik Willis they was going to draft him a couple years ago in the 1st round, and they didn't draft him. They drafted Kenny Pickett.
They didn't draft him at all?
No, he got drafted by by Tennessee, like in the 3rd or 4th round.
Oh, I ain't know they just do.
Yeah, they do that shit all the time. That's
I
not
just
new.
feel like you should let your right hand know what
And
your
they
left
don't.
hand
That's
doing.
what I'm saying. They do
Don't-
that ain't
don't
new.
put
Like Ben
everything out in the
Roethlisberger
front.
was told he was getting drafted by the Giants. Told him they were drafting him. Of course, they drafted Phillip Rivers, and Eli didn't want to go to the Chargers, so they swapped them out. So Bender stayed with Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they do that all the time.
Hey,
Randy Moss was going to Cowboys. Jerry Jones told him he was drafting him and didn't draft him. That's why every time he played the Cowboys, he burnt them. Yeah, that's something. They do that all the time.
I just feel like Shedeur, just act like you gonna listen to them folks.
You don't think he had a little
Act like
a
you
little
gonna
too
listen
much
to
hype
them.
behind him too? It was some Alonzo Ball feel to that.
Yeah, but Lonzo Ball still went lottery.
Yeah, but that was wrong though.
Bronny had hype. He still got drafted.
That's because of his dad. That's different.
That's what it's supposed to be for Shedeur
Shedeur.
too.
Maybe they paid attention to
His
the
dad was
maybe
still
they paid attention to
I
the
mean, look
NBA.
at who his daddy
Maybe
is.
they didn't want to be like the NBA.
Yeah, he better than
The
Bronny.
NBA looked at exactly stupid for that, and you know they
He
did.
better than Bronny.
Oh yeah, he way better.
Yeah. Bronny come out 2 points
Bronny
a
ain't
game,
supposed to
almost
be-
died, and you still a one and done.
Yeah.
Like what? What? Most people don't even get drafted. Isaiah Austin, a 7-foot dude from Dallas, didn't even get drafted because of heart problems. This dude died almost died because of his heart
His
basically.
dad,
And still was
his
a
dad
one and
got him,
done.
man.
They showed their hand with that one.
But we
What is
want
Bronny doing now?
nothing.
Watching his dad finna get put
I
out.
thought he was in the G League stuff.
Nah, he get to sit at the home games on the
Yeah.
NBA contract and watch his dad play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had every game clapping at the playoffs.
We gonna see what Shedeur about. He gonna get his chance.
I want to look
We
forward
gonna
to it.
find
He
out.
definitely gonna get his chance.
He gonna get his chance,
He will, and I hope he slap motherfuckers in their mouth.
Hey, he either gonna prove them right.
Do what?
or he gonna
Act
bust out.
like
wrong.
you.
And if he
Shedeur,
prove
if you
wrong, it
listening,
still ain't
just
gonna hurt
act
them.
like you listening to them motherfuckers.
Because they only giving him
You ain't
$4 million.
gotta- You ain't gotta listen to them and just act like it. Just be like,
It's a win-win for the NFL. That's all I got.
Just
say.
like, and do what you want to do. That's what I would have did.
Yeah, right.
What you got next for us?
I do that all the time.
We got can a woman
You might well be the
can a woman raise a son
You
into
said-
a man?
Hold on, what you
I
said?
said you might well own GM if you moving like that over there.
I don't give a fine
You
fuck.
ain't gonna fire them. Nobody wanna work at you.
I'm a union worker. What they gonna do?
All right, we're gonna go to the next one, man. Can a woman raise a son into a man?
No.
Sure, I was raised by a single mother, so I'm gonna say yeah.
I was raised by a single grandmother.
by
so
default.
I-
I honestly, if I had to be truthfully growing up wise, I don't. I feel like it was a lot of things that if my dad was there, I probably would have been a lot better at. I had to learn from either just being around or my stepdad was pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, I don't think a woman. I mean, you're a woman.
Yeah, she can't teach no man
All
how to
she
be
gonna
no
do
man.
is
She
teach you
ain't
what
never
she
been no
see
man.
men do or what a man told her.
Yeah, she can teach you how to treat a woman. She, you know what I'm saying? Like she can treat you stuff like that, like certain principles or values. But she can't teach you how to be no man. She ain't never been no man.
Yeah.
Just like you can't teach your daughter how to be no woman.
100%.
I know that's kind of
And just teach her how to be a woman a man won't.
that's kind of a weird question.
That or
'Cause
teach
I
her
feel like
how to a man.
like I was raised by my grandmother, and I feel like I don't know because she made me responsible. Like I had to work, I had to do stuff. I couldn't even live when I was in high school. I had to work at a job just to stay in the crib.
But her teaching you to
I
be
mean, so
responsible is not
that's-
teaching you
that's
how to be a
how
man.
you
You
good
can't
human.
teach me how to be a man because I was born a man.
Yeah.
I was going to be a man with a man around or without.
No, that don't necessarily.
I didn't have a man around, and
But
I'm
that
a man.
don't. But that don't mean that just because you was born a man don't mean you gonna grow up. To
Well,
be
I'm talking
one.
about. I'm speaking for me, so I can
Yeah.
only answer the question according to my,
Yeah.
my experience. So now I seen other generations later on that really didn't have any idea how to raise, like for single females, how to raise a man at all.
Yeah.
I've been around them and seen it, but I think where my generation was, I think women was fine with raising men because they did a lot
But
of
what
it.
I'm saying is the difference between you said she taught you how to be responsible. You being responsible ain't got nothing to do with you being a man.
It was more than just responsibility. It was
mean,
everything.
yeah.
It was the whole thing. So I became a man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying you can't.
No,
but
what I'm
still
saying,
become
Do you
a
feel
man.
like your
But she
grandma's
can't
sole
teach you how to
reason
be
for
a
the
man.
man you are today? Or not the person you are
Honestly,
today,
I'm gonna
the
give
man
you.
you
I'm
are.
gonna give you the answer. I don't think a man can make you be a man. I just think if you're gonna be a man, if you're a man like that, you're gonna be a man. Yeah, ain't nobody gonna stop me from being a man. What am I be? A woman?
I mean,
Well,
you
you-
could.
you have to see a
That's
man.
where-
I'm,
that's
but
where
I'm not.
transgenders come from.
But I'm not though. Is what I'm saying.
I get that.
Like,
but
I
just
got
because
siblings.
you're
You
born a
gotta
man
learn
don't
from
mean you gonna
somewhere,
be a
right?
man.
Because your mind, you got to learn from somewhere. You have to either see a man being a man or being taught to be a man. And so, like, even if you think about some of your things, you either just got it on your own, probably could have did, or you probably seen it somewhere and adapted something, or was taught. Because even when you learn your language, you would have been speaking Spanish if you was in an all Mexican home. It's gonna be from your environment. So if You don't think so?
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying to a certain degree, like, because I never had a man around. Like, I met my biological dad when I was 25.
It wasn't like a coach or nothing you did. Like, even
I mean,
like you was in
I was
the
around
military or something, right?
No, I was a commercial
A
diver.
diver. That bring a lot of stuff, right? Ain't
Bro,
it
I
like
was
a lot?
30 years old when I did that shit.
Okay, my bad. I'm just trying to see.
No, I'm just saying I've been around a lot of different people. Period. Like just being in the street, being in school, playing sports and stuff like that. You're around people all the time.
Me, for sure.
But I'm not giving them any credit. Like the way I'm just saying the way my grandmother raised me
was good enough.
I ain't saying good enough, but it was just hard. It was hard. Like we had a hard life in the first place. We was broke, like broke. So every day was a scuffle. Like this leading into one of these other like somebody said, well, it's a mental health day. Like I remember we didn't have days to donate to mental health. Every day was you had to work, ride, or die. You know what I'm saying?
And I think those days is why we had to start putting the importance on that.
I'm just saying, like you know, you gotta do something or you starve. So you know, starving ain't an option.
I'm the mama and the daddy, and
you're not.
And when you hear that, you just want to take that narrative away. I feel like, remember one of the cool stats I told you, which might be one of the things they pushed Shedeur to the 5th round. You know, they say the quarterback position out of all sports played is the toughest position to play. They say that, and every dude they got the top goal, which is the Super Bowl championship. Every quarterback that won the Super Bowl had both their parents in their household. Weird stat that they kept. But they said from the day first Super Bowl to right now, even with Jalen Hurts, he got both his parents. They come from both their parents single. What'd you call it? A double parent household? I had a single parent household, so I don't know what you call that.
I don't know. That's a game. I ain't giving that no credit to.
I mean, right, but for the character to lead all men to a championship, because they say that's the leader, the quarterback, and that's the hardest position to play out of all sports. So to lead a group of men to the top goal through all the triumphs that you have to, the character, I think. I don't know where that stat comes from. It's a weird stat, but it's crazy that
they have a leadership trait.
That something. All the adversity you got to face and everything at that position. Because you know the quarterback tell everybody what position he start the clock. He's everything. Everything's on the quarterback on the offensive end, and then even winning. The quarterback can't put the ball in. I don't care how good your defense is. If the quarterback can't lead these group of men down the field, and he starts the clock, he calls the play. He makes the reads. He put everybody in position. If you don't know the route, when I was in the huddle, when I played quarterback, I get in there, I call the play, and the dude's like, what I do? You got to know all that. So just the character, whatever it builds from having both the parents. I don't know what that stat was significant about.
I mean, that's a leadership. That's a character trait.
And man to lead, right? So I guess some of the best male leaders, we got to look and see if they had both their parents.
So, I mean, I just think some men they just gonna be that man anyway. 100%. Like where you gather the information or the know-how, the knowledge, you're gonna get it anyway. That's just what you're gonna do. Like, I mean, did I give my grandma all the credit? Probably not. But I just felt like I was gonna do that anyway. Like, you know, so.
I mean, yeah.
I wouldn't say she couldn't raise a man though, cause she raised me.
I can't. I'm gonna say it because I don't believe it.
But she raised me though.
I mean, I understand it.
You don't even have kids.
She's still. I don't have to have kids. Yeah. Exactly like
you ain't raised nobody yet.
It doesn't matter. I still don't feel like. But because I believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe a man can raise a daughter to be a woman. Like I just don't believe it. I mean, you just can't. Like, how can you teach me something that you don't know nothing about? So, like my mama struggled with me, like being that she came up in a double parent household. And I didn't have my father, but you know what I'm saying? Like we ran into issues like that. We had to really like talk about that because it was things that she couldn't identify with me or relate to me or understand how I felt in some situations because she didn't have to feel that. And she didn't have to go through that. Like, I'm not finna sit up here and y'all tell me what it's like for me to be a woman. The fuck y'all don't know nothing about being a woman. Maybe. Don't know the first thing.
I beg to differ.
So, no, I'm not.
So,
I get that, but you don't know what it's like to be a woman. You don't have a vagina. You ain't never had no period.
But I know what it's like.
You ain't got no titties.
But that sounds good. But at the same time, I learned that.
I understand that, but you'll never know what it's like firsthand. You are not a woman.
I know. That doesn't mean you
so
can't
I can't tell you what it's like. I can't tell you what it's like to be a man. I do not know what that feels like. I never know what that feels like. I'm not a man.
Maybe if let's not use the word can't, maybe, because when you got to make something happen, you can get it done. Especially
I feel that because I feel like if my daughter's mom wasn't there, I could raise my kids by myself.
Maybe
I'm not saying that you cannot raise them. Like, y'all missing the point. You can raise, but I'm saying You can raise your kids. I'm not saying that you cannot raise them. What I'm saying is, you as a female raising a son, or as a male raising a female, you are not going to be able to fully raise them as the person they're supposed to be. They're going to figure that out, of course, from the influences around them. They do need their parents to mold them, but I don't feel like a woman can teach a boy how to be a man. She can give him guidance and teach him, like, character traits and stuff like that. All of that's gonna mold the man that he's supposed to be. But I do believe he needs his father to mold him into a man, and he needs that example and that influence around him. Just like if you hang around niggas in the street, you gonna be like niggas in the street. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I hung around niggas
you
in the
had
street.
influences around
Maybe
you.
it's
Like,
I hung around niggas in the
you
street.
had male influences around you that influenced you, whether you feel like they did or not. In a sense, they did.
I don't want to say
all men
can't,
influence
Yeah.
other men.
because I don't have kids, but when I talk to people that have kids, they'll tell you that it brings us out of you didn't even know you had in you, right?
That's
I understand
So
it.
That's
maybe it's the
100%.
fact of maybe a man can raise a woman to be a woman, but a woman could do it better. And maybe a woman could raise a man to be a man. Maybe a man being there could do it better.
Yeah,
'Cause, like,
I
it might be,
definitely.
like,
I'm not saying
I can tell you
I'm not saying
everything, but if I
can't
can
raise
show
them.
you and tell you, you could probably learn better than me just being able to tell you.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
You want me to teach you how to be a man?
I don't need you to teach me anything. I don't want to be a man. I'm good. I like
But
my
I can teach
vagina.
you, though.
I like when no,
But
you
I can
can't.
teach
You
you.
can't because I don't want to learn.
Oh, okay.
Like, what the fuck? I got a pussy. I'm never.
My mom watched this shit.
That's
I
fine.
keep
She
telling
got
you.
one too. But here's the thing. Like, I don't want to know what I would never firsthand. We playing gamers now. We have a VR. I will never know what it's like to walk in your shoes and be a man. I'm good.
Okay. We're going to go to the next
I'm
one.
try
fine.
it,
I'm
though.
fine.
Being
I
a
don't
man is
want
fine.
to. I don't want to. I'm fine. I like me. I like my
You
space.
can always re-identify the word.
I don't
we
want
live in.
to.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No,
I'm
I think
good.
Donald Trump
I like
changed
being a
that.
woman.
I think he's cracking
He
down.
changed
on
all
that. Never
that.
mind. You right.
No,
You stuck.
I mean,
You stuck
it
over
doesn't
there.
matter
You
because
stuck.
if I die right now and my body got buried and they dug it up and they check my bones, I'm still gonna be biologically a woman. It doesn't matter. That shit not gonna change. I don't care what nobody say.
We got one more. Are single mothers less valuable in the dating market?
Oh, I love it.
He gonna say yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
that's his,
I'm gonna say they less.
I put it on her because of him.
I'm glad. People don't get this, and I was hooping, right? I hoop at this church, and this dude, he got a kid, and he was like, he told me, he's like, bro, he was just talking to me, and then he was like, man, we was just talking, and he was like, bro, how you doing? You know, I ain't got kids and nothing. And then he was like, I be dating, and I feel like I gotta date a woman with a kid because I have a kid. And I was like, no, you don't. I said, a dude having a kid don't change your value because that's not what, when a woman looking at what makes a man valuable, she's not looking at his exclusivity. Because like, if I talk about how many women I got, even though you might hate it, it's going to make me more attractive than if I couldn't have a woman and I never could get a woman. And then, so with it being, like I was telling, I think we had this talk, the best thing a woman could give me right now, that's why I'm going to make sure we had this talk. I want a woman with no kids because she can give me the thing that no woman ever gave me or ever gave anybody else, and that's my legacy, another kid. And if she already did that with somebody else, she will never be exclusive to me because that man will also have access to her, even if it ain't physical or sexual. He will always have something that they would share, which is his legacy. And like I said, if we finna go on a trip and he supposed to go get the kid, and then he don't, and the school call, we gotta go get the kid, she gotta go. As a mother, she has to go, and we ruin our trip. That man still can impact what we got going on in our life without even being in our life. I don't want nobody to have that access to my woman. So I'm going to choose, if I can have my preference, to have a woman with no kids, because then she'll be more exclusive to me, and she give me something that I can feel exclusively she ain't gave nobody else. She can give another man time and attention on the way to meet me, but she never gave a man another legacy and another kid and access to her for the rest of life.
I mean, I don't care. I just feel people should date who equally yoked with you. I don't give a damn about all of the formalities and stuff like that. Like, cause you got some people that have kids with people and they come into somebody's life that has kids already, and they can be a blessing and an asset to them kids. So I don't necessarily think that you have to cut yourself off from because a person has kids and be like, you know what? Now, I mean, I get and totally understand everything that you're saying. It don't necessarily mean I agree with it because, you know, I feel like you need to date what works for you.
100%.
Like, if you have a kid, 9 out of 10, if you're a single parent, your best bet is to date another single parent because you're gonna have somebody that understands what you're going through, Like y'all kind of on the same page because y'all kind of going through the same thing. Like for me, not having no kids, it's easier for me to date somebody who doesn't have kids. Now I'm 36 years old. We getting older. Everybody got kids nowadays, so I'm not finna just sit back and limit myself. Yeah, I would prefer somebody that doesn't have kids because I don't have kids and I know it's easier. But I mean, shit, at this point, pickings is slim, so I just take whatever I can get. I just hope that whoever I get with, you know, we align to where we don't have any issues when it comes to their baby mama and how they handle the kids and, you know, the way that they want me to interact with the kids and bring me into the situation and stuff like that. So, you know, I mean, you just got to do what works for you. I don't think it necessarily bring your value down because you have kids with somebody else. Shit happens. What if they got married and their spouse died? That doesn't mean that they invaluable now because they got a kid with somebody who died on them.
I agree. I agree with both of y'all.
It don't mean
both
they have
answers.
no values. Mean they have less. If you had the same qualities,
I don't even want to say that.
And as this woman right here with no kids, who you think I'm choosing?
But I don't want to say that they have less
let me-
value because what
can
if
I say
they die?
something?
What if somebody died?
But from my experience, this is my experience. Most of the time, if you date a woman without kids, it's more difficult. To date a woman with kids, they more grounded most of the time. But I'm a little older, so now
it's also that too. That comes into factor because it's like hard to be 35, 40 and saying, "Oh, don't have a kid," because you will have those instances. But
at the age I'm at now, kids is all grown. So.
Grown and it don't really affect. And even if she did have a kid, it don't affect. But when you talk about someone, like when you talk about going to go build a life with someone. So when I think about that question, because like I said, I still have no kids and I have not been married. He already done had kids and been married. He done lived a life, so he gonna look a little different. I'm still looking for, with my one person, we're still going on that journey.
I don't think you got to defend that. I agree with what you said. That's what you. That's what.
That's what
you
you.
choose. Yeah, that's what you want. So
For
that's
you.
what it is. Yeah, I like both your
Just
answers.
you.
Hey, we could go ahead.
Only you.
I don't think it's only me, but
No, it's a lot of men that feel that. I know a lot of men that feel that way. Especially there was a time when I felt that way.
you got to think, as a man, we're the conqueror. So if I'm building my status up to be a provider and a protector, I mean, I'm in the gym, I'm working out, I'm going to go get what I want. And if I can have a preference. Now, if I'm taking what I have to take or doing that, then I might do this different. But if I'm going for what I want, I typically would want a woman with no kids and who wouldn't give up, because that's the utmost way you can give a man your body. Shit, I ain't saying I want the virgin because I understand stuff happen, but once you allow to have it, once you go, it's so many steps to make a kid. And you done went that far, I just feel like your decision got to be bad. Unless you were married.
I don't know. I
and
guess I
something
just
just
don't
didn't
care that
happen.
much about anything that happened before I come along. Like the dude I'm dating now, like he got his kid is older, like grown. So let's say if we decided to have a kid, because he's a little older than me. Let's say we did decide to have a kid. It's pretty much like him starting all the way over.
Yeah.
So it does
That's
like
rough.
that's a
think
brand
it's
new
different for us,
situation.
though.
That's rough to start. I'm saying to start over.
I mean,
ain't trying to
if
start
that's
over.
what he choose to do, if he knows he's with me, he knows I want a kid, he knows I want a family. If he chooses to do that, then that's just what he chooses to do. But it's gonna be like us. It's gonna be like starting over. It is gonna be starting over because his other child is grown.
I done lost
has
plenty
a job and lives
of
on
women
home.
because they want to have kids. I'm like, no, I'm good. like,
I
I'm
mean, but
not-
that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
If you don't want that,
Yeah.
don't get with somebody who.
No, I'm
do.
just saying I lost women because of that.
I
That's all
stopped
I'm
talking
saying.
to dudes because of that. Like I was talking to a dude.
Would you date a woman that had a family tree like Nick Cannon?
Fuck no.
No matter how much money she got a family tree like Nick Cannon. Like all her baby daddies lined up, and these the kids that they got. She gave
No,
them.
that's too much to
'Cause it's
deal
different-
with.
it's a
That's too
difference,
much to
too.
deal with. That's too much. I'm not undated
I mean,
women
but
with kids.
it's
It's not
easier
easy.
for him-
It's not
him to
easy
have
to
all
date
the
a woman
kids
with
and her.
kids. All the time either. Yeah.
I mean, and like I say, it's still on
'Cause
the
you fall
person.
out
It's
with
still
the
on person.
woman
It's
and
great women.
the
with
kids done grew on
and
you.
it's terrible women without kids. It's great women. It's terrible women with kids. It's still on the person. But I'm saying if you have your preference, you can meet the person and know. Give me your facts. And no kids. So they got the same IQ, same personality, same attitude. What's gonna be the difference? What's gonna make that girl more valuable than that girl is that she didn't have no kids.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't care that much about what comes before me as long as it doesn't create an issue for when I come along.
It
Like,
can.
That's what I'm saying. As long as it doesn't,
Yeah.
I don't give a damn. Like, I've dated a dude that had 4 kids before. And I was like, yeah.
So we gotta have so that's why I think too why it is a lot of women with kids, because we in a country where we praise women, like we will reward you for having kids. Oh, you had a kid, the daddy not there? Oh, don't worry, we'll give you all these benefits. And then like you hear girls brag on how good their coochie is by how many baby daddies they got. And that's where we gotta stop that, because like right now, if me and him want to be valuable to a woman, we
I
finna
swear to God,
we
I
finna
never
go get
heard
our
that
money
until
up.
Sexy
We
Red
finna
said
go
that.
get our mind right. You say what?
I never heard that until Sexy Red said that shit.
Oh, I've been heard it. Like
Like,
even home, if we was talking
like
right
my
now,
coochie
if we was
good
talking
'cause
about
I
a
got
girl,
so many baby
if we
daddies.
was
Now I
talking about a
heard
girl
because I
right
got
now,
so many kids.
and we heard that
baby.
she had 5 kids, we automatically, even before we even be like, or we probably like, damn, 5 kids, but we be thinking like, damn, her coochie gotta be good. Niggas ain't putting out.
I mean, yeah, but
You know what I'm saying?
you don't never.
Yeah, it's
but
true.
Yeah, you like, damn,
But I'm
nigga,
why they
saying,
keep
I've
hitting
heard,
that?
Yeah,
Like,
they
I've
put it
heard
must
that,
be good.
but I'm saying like the woman saying, "Well, my coochie good because I got 5 kids."
Oh, yeah.
No, you're not gonna hear no woman.
But
say
even
that.
then, we associate that, and I feel even as men.
But that's
like,
our own assumptions. And when you make assumptions, you make an ass out of yourself.
No,
so
now,
you assuming
it's
that she got
associated.
good
No, I'm
coochie,
saying,
not necessarily.
but the fact that that's
her.
even a thought.
But see, look, I'm gonna say this real quick. We running out of clock, but I done dated women with kids, and it was a disaster. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. Like it could be tricky. Like this woman wanted me to whoop her kids and shit. I'm like, I'm not beating your kids. I'm like, they dad come and get them every other weekend, pay child support and everything. I
That's
said,
his job.
well, that's what I'm trying to tell her. I was like, why don't you call him and have him, you know, beat the kids. You trying to get me in the middle of some shit that.
And that's
Now
what I
if
be
y'all
trying to say.
if y'all get married and y'all all that's your household, then you do have a right to discipline them.
This is what I'm saying. This is one thing.
My ex-wife got remarried, and he still ain't allowed to touch my kids.
I ain't saying necessarily beat them, but
No,
you still
what I'm-
you have a right
But
to.
guess what?
Once y'all married,
as
you
the
got a
king
right
of that
to.
household, you know how he gotta
discipline
feel,
them.
because he accepted that
I
to know
discipline
that
him.
at the end of the day.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he
Once
call-
if you and her were to get married, even though their dad is
I under-
there,
I
and
under-
You got daughters too.
yeah, you
But-
have.
Oh, I can't hear both y'all.
Oh, go
Everybody-
But I'm
Right,
saying
right.
you have a right if y'all all are living under
Under-
your roof.
no, I understood
Yeah,
that.
you can still
But what I'm
discipline
saying,
them.
that's
You
not-
ain't gotta beat them.
No, what I'm saying, it didn't work that way. Like I did that. Like
He said he ain't even discipline his kid. He doing it. That's his.
yeah,
job.
I did discipline my own kids. Like he texted me and be like, yeah, Aaron, you know, such, or mom called me.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
but
I
I'm
took
talking
care of
about
that.
I'm talking about the woman that you dated. I'm
Yeah,
not talking about necessarily
I'm saying
your
but
kids
what
and
I-
how they
okay.
in
I
another
got a
house.
rebuttal to it. I would not whoop her kids.
Yeah.
Even if we was married and had our own kids, their dad was involved. He paid child support. He was their dad. That's his job. I'm not whooping them kids.
Yeah. But what if he told you it was okay? Would you still do it or would you
No,
not?
it's his job.
It's his
I'm
responsibility.
In Texas,
saying,
look, in Texas,
I'm
this-
talking about they're in your house now. Y'all are married now. You are their stepfather.
Listen. In Texas,
We're not talking about no boyfriend.
I understood what you said. What you said, I got it. In Texas, you need one of the parents to consent to kick a kid's ass. So
Mm-hmm.
one of the parents can consent. I don't care if the grandparents consent it. I'm not whooping them. You're their father. You're their mother. You whooped them. I'm not whooping them kids. You're here. Do your job.
So you remember
But
he
he
said
not
his
there.
grandma
He
made
not
him
in the house.
responsible. You know one thing
he
that
don't
makes,
have to be in the house. He comes get them. He does his part.
I
He's
understand
co-parenting.
it, but they're in
his
your
job.
house now.
It doesn't matter. That's not how it works. People think that's how people get killed every day.
and that's this conversation what y'all seeing is why I'd rather not have a woman with kids. And it's not even based off of like, well, who gonna do this and that. It's just that I don't even want to have that thought, because at the end of the day, when you in your kingdom, when you're married in your household, you don't want to even be in a situation where somebody you couldn't discipline or even have to think about it or that. But what I'm trying to say is this: as men, one thing that makes a good quality man, you even agree, is the man that take care of his responsibility, right?
Yeah.
And he's allowing that man to keep doing that. But also, I'm getting tired. Is that as a man, I don't grow up saying I'm ready to take care of another man's responsibility.
I mean,
Meaning,
I
like,
get
if he
that.
don't want to go to work, I'm not saying I'll punch you in for
This
you.
is it. Look, the only way I'll be involved with somebody's kids that way if their father wasn't involved. If
I
he
get that.
wasn't there.
I
Yeah,
get that.
but my thing is like you can't just
That's why I'm asking, because I'm trying to see why you don't feel comfortable doing it, because like I'm just looking at it from
the
the
reason why
standpoint.
because he was involved. Look, when I divorced,
I understand.
okay,
that.
just because I divorced you don't mean I divorced my kids. I can still be their father.
understand
That's
that.
what I'm saying. So I'm still available to do
Yeah.
to do my job. Just because I don't live in the house. Like my daughters live with me in the house. I had joint custody, so they lived with me 3 days a week, and was at her mom and her stepdad's house 4 days
get
out of
that.
the week. Yeah, so I'm available to do my job. So
Yeah.
let me do
and
my
I
job.
mean, and I'm not
so
saying
he didn't
that
have to do my
I
job.
wasn't saying that you can't, but it's like for me, I guess I look at it if me and you have a kid and we decide to split up or whatever, and I meet Body, and now me and Body dating, like, nah, I get that, but no, that's never happening.
Oh.
But let's say if Body,
I was
me
just
and
doing it for
Body
the sake of the
decide to
story.
get married, then I understand that you're still we're still co-parenting. You're still here for your child, but you also don't live in the house. He's now the head of the household. So I would expect because you're the man in this household right now that you discipline. I'm not saying go beat them and string them up, but I'm like, you know, you need to handle this right now while we're here.
But I'm gonna add to that. What
that.
about when they're with me? Like, I'm still available to be their father, and they still live in my household also.
It's not saying that you can't be available, but there's an able-bodied parent in the house with them right now.
I'm gonna let you know what's gonna happen. We're gonna have a breakdown, a bad fallout, and a bad breakdown. We're gonna end up in court and go through a lot of shit because I ain't letting nobody else hit my kids.
But I'm not necessarily saying hit them, but you still can discipline them.
No, if he yelled at my child, I'm on his ass. And I've been through it already too.
I get that. That's
like,
how you feel, but I don't.
Whatever. I picked up the phone before I got a word out my mouth.
I feel like the man in the house, like even if they're who's their new stepfather, we're not talking about somebody they dating. We're talking about somebody I'm married to and on paper. He should be able to discipline the kids.
But if he still
in the house,
them, as long as they get disciplined,
he can't. But why do I have to wait until he have to get over there? What if he can't get over there and it's a situation that need handling right now? I gotta wait for him to come.
Well,
what if he can't come till tomorrow? This need to be happening right now.
I raised my kids better than that. I ain't never had them.
And that's where the discipline starts. That's what I'm saying. That's on the three parents.
But that's a conversation that needs to be had between the parents that's involved. And I would have that conversation because I would tell you.
But you know what I'm telling you?
I appreciate you
if
being
you're gonna have
these
these kind of issues, I'm gonna tell you. Let them come with their dad, and you ain't got to worry about it.
No, I'm going to raise my own kids, but
we going to raise kids. You're not going to raise kids.
That's fine. We can raise them, but if I decide to get married.
But if you got a man that want to step up and do other things,
do what they supposed to do as the man of this household. Just like
he can be the man, but he'll never be the man,
knowing you have no say-so over somebody that's living in your household.
Do what?
Knowing that you have no say-so over somebody that's that's living in your household.
Because why would he not have any say so?
In that situation, if them kids do something, he's there.
Because if we ain't together and we're not living together, what goes on in my house ain't got nothing to do with him.
That's not true. Because that's my child.
Not if I get married now.
Baby, if you get married, it doesn't.
We still have
you ain't got to yell. Look, I'm right here. Yeah, we can have an understanding, but on court documents.
I understand it. I'm not saying you can't help with raising your child.
That's not what I'm saying.
There's a man in my house now. We're married.
All right, let me explain to you what I'm saying. What goes on in your house with my child involves me because I'm going to always be that child's father. So yes, what goes on with my child in your house involves me. Yes, it does.
But it's also going to involve who else I get married to because that is now their step parent.
That's fine.
They're involved too.
And I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm saying is you're not going to exclude me. What does go on your house?
I never said I was excluding you.
You said what goes on in my house don't include
But
me.
it really doesn't because if
does.
we him sit down and have a conversation about what's going on in our house, that's our house. Now, what I'm saying is you definitely are going to be involved with anything involving the child.
So when the child leaves the house when the child leaves your house and comes to me and say, Dad, this is what happened. That right there involved me in your house.
But it ain't gonna be like no bad stuff. I mean, but kids do that.
It be like that.
But still, I'm not. That's not necessarily excluding you. But you have to that's the problem. Is like it's like people be. I don't know. It's like this holding on. Like
I mean, I went through it. I went through it and it was fine. Once we reached our understanding, it was.
I mean, and it's definitely gonna be an understanding. Yeah. It's not like they just coming in and they just gonna take over and beat the kids. And it's not. That's not what I'm saying. I feel like you missed the whole point. But as far as them now being my husband and being the head of the household, yes, we have a kid together, but now this is the leader of my family. And yes, he is going to have some say-so over what's going on. He is a part of it. Just like if you got married, your wife is a part of that too.
He's the leader of that household.
We are a village. We are a team.
This is all I'm saying to you.
Because I can't tell y'all what to do
just
for
because
y'all house.
One of us get married again or both of us get married again. I never stopped being my child's father. I didn't go away or run away.
I understand it.
Listen to what I'm saying. You still have to allow me to do my job. And just because you have a new husband or a new whatever you got doesn't mean he does my job. I do my job 100%.
But he's doing it in addition to what you're doing.
He's not.
What I'm saying.
This is what I told her when she asked me to whoop her kids. I told her, I said, look, I'm not going to whoop your kids. If you want me to, I'll call their dad and had a conversation with him and let him do it. I said, I'm not their father, but I'll always be a male role model and a father figure to them. I don't have to play their father because they have a father.
Right.
Period.
But
Just like
somebody, you keep talking about beating, but there's
It ain't
different
just
forms
beating,
of-
period.
There's different forms
What
of
I'm- what I'm
discipline that don't
saying-
necessarily involve. If he need a stern talking to, and I tell
And
the
that's-
stepdaddy, give him a stern
It-
motherfucker
but
talking
but
to,
I'm giving
I don't
you,
have to wait
but
till
I'm
you get
giving
home to
you
do
that
it.
information. I'm not talking about just beating him. As long as he has a father, I can pick up the phone and say, "Hey, bro, your son did this in school today, got in trouble, whatever. All right, I'll be through. I'm gonna." That's his job.
That's cool, but
That's his
as my
job.
husband, he should be able to do
No,
something.
no, no. He, as long as that father's involved, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even if the father's involved.
Well, I'm a dead ass husband.
He marries you, not the kids.
Yeah, not the kid.
He did marry the kid. The
No,
kid
he
is a
didn't.
part of me. What are you talking about?
That's what women look at it like. You never stop. You just because a man
that's
is
why-
not with you. They
How
not-
is that not
My
all-
purpose is no kids.
So
Y'all hear this?
You marrying
Y'all hear
me,
her?
The kid don't mean shit. Like, what are we talking about?
I ain't
here?
say the kid don't
y'all
mean shit.
worse. You know what? Y'all fuck that. Cause y'all act like them niggas that you'll buy your kid food, but if she got other kids, you wouldn't
No,
even make
not
sure
at
they
all.
hungry.
No,
They ate.
no,
yes,
not
y'all
at all.
are. I see that now.
Nah,
I
not
don't
at all.
know.
Not at all. What I'm saying
Cause
is,
y'all,
as long as
you
I'm,
married a woman, you don't marry
as
her
long
kids.
as
Like,
I'm-
if you
I'm
marry her, you
able-
are marrying her fucking kids.
No, her kids are a part of her, but he married the woman.
Yes, our kids are a part of me. So if you marrying me, you marrying my kids.
But his
too.
kids are
You
part of
not-
him.
then he,
You not in the household without him.
Then he married me too. Then, because I'm the kids' father.
He didn't marry your ass.
I'm the kids'
That's
father.
what they
are.
I'm the kids' father.
He didn't marry you. Not
If
in
the
our
kids
house.
are
You
part of
guys
her, they're
are
a
not
part
in
of
the
him.
house, but the kid is in both.
They're
of our
part
Don't
of
houses.
both of
matter,
them.
but if you're
And
marrying
they
me,
just
you
proved
marrying
my
my
point.
kids
The
too.
kids are part of him.
I mean, the
They're
kids
part of
are
her.
the kids are part of him,
So
but
if
we
what
talking
you
about
just
in
said
my
is true.
household.
If he
not
marry
in my
her
fucking
and the kids are
household.
part-
But
Let me
he
tell you,
does-
but
he's gonna
he
always
does
be a
have to
part
have
of
a
her and them
relationship
kids.
with him.
He's gonna
He
always.
does have to have a relationship
Any man
with
that
him,
talk to her
but he's
is
not
getting him.
obligated. He's
If
not
he's a-
obligated to do anything for him. When we're talking about marriage, we're talking about obligation. He is obligated as my husband to do shit for me as his wife.
Yeah.
He obligated to do for my kids because these are now his stepkids. He's not obligated to do shit for him.
That's not how.
He's not even
not-
obligated to
that's
do for your
not-
kids.
and I'm not
He
saying.
don't have to do anything.
He's obligated to take care of
Baby,
the
you arguing something
household.
that don't even need to be argued. That's stupid. I was just fucking with you when I said that.
I mean, I understand it, but I'm just saying because
I
people
know, but
really
you blowing
feel
my
like this.
goddamn eardrum out. What
Well, it don't matter. I'm loud.
I see, but what I'm saying is,
I ain't turning my volume down.
as long as the father of the child is there and around and able to do his job, allow him to do his job. That's where the conflict always comes in.
You know
never
what? Hold on.
said-
'Cause y'all ain't gonna never see it.
What I'm
I
saying-
never
let y'all
said.
think. I want to hear
never
what y'all
said
think.
Yeah,
that
leave
they
it
couldn't
in
do
the
their
comments.
job.
Leave it in the comments. This is
Yeah, we
good.
gotta wrap it up.
Yeah, because they might not agree. And
Vanity. Woo! I can't
No,
wait till they cut
'cause
these
y'all
cameras
keep
put it in
off.
the comments, please.
No,
If y'all hear this,
First of all, I'm tired of
hey,
going
whoever
to
clip
sleep.
this part, and I want everybody to clip this so I can post it on my
I'm
IG.
gonna
I want to know
go
what
sleep.
everybody think about that.
Drop it in the comment box, man.
Y'all
We
gonna
out,
make
y'all.
me change my mind.
We out. Hey, that's good. And we, hey, yeah. Drop it in the comments so we can bring it back to the next episode.
Hell